Human life is organized almost entirely around time. We wake up to alarms, work by schedules, celebrate birthdays, and measure progress in hours and years. From childhood, we are taught that time is something that passes, something we must manage, and something we never seem to have enough of. Yet rarely do we pause to ask what time truly is. We assume its reality without examination. We treat it as a force moving independently through the universe, carrying us from past to future. Yet, across ancient wisdom traditions, modern physics, and contemporary consciousness teachings, a radically different understanding of time emerges. Welcome to Reality Check, where we pause the noise, question the assumptions, and look beneath the stories we've been taught to accept as truth. In this episode, we're pulling apart one of the deepest illusions shaping human experience: time. Not clocks, not calendars, but the idea that past and future exist the way we think they do. Because once you see how time really works, your relationship with life, urgency, fear, and even freedom begins to change. By integrating spiritual insight, philosophical reasoning, and scientific understanding, you will begin to see that what you call time is not the fabric of reality, but a mental overlay upon it. When this is clearly understood, a deeper peace becomes possible, not through escaping life, but through fully inhabiting the present moment where life actually happens. Let's take a reality check. So, how to measure time? Time is commonly imagined as a flowing entity, an invisible river carrying events along its current. Yet closer examination reveals that time itself cannot be directly perceived. What we experience, instead, is movement and change. A day is defined by the Earth rotating on its axis. A year is marked by its orbit around the Sunday. A second is measured through billions of vibrations of a cesium atom. Every unit of time is ultimately a unit of motion. Remove movement, and time disappears. This reveals a fundamental truth. Time is but the measure of change. Clocks do not measure time as a substance. They count repetition. They tally cycles. Time does not exist independently of phenomena. It arises only because things change. Existence itself is continuous, but time appears only when form transforms. Time is not a fundamental substance of reality. It is a conceptual framework created to measure change. Albert Einstein expressed this insight plainly when he said, "The distinction between the past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion." He demonstrated that time bends depending on speed and gravity, proving it is not an absolute universal constant. Time varies with perspective. Time warps, mystics knew. Science now confirms it all. Time is relational, not fundamental. It is a framework arising from change, not a governing force of existence. When we recognize this, we begin to loosen our psychological attachment to the clock and open to a deeper understanding of reality, one that is rooted not in passing moments, but in ever-present being. Modern mystic Eckhart Tolle, in his book, The Power of Now, echoes the same realization from a spiritual perspective when he says, "Time is not precious at all, because it is an illusion." The scriptures promote this idea in many ways. Jesus, centuries earlier, taught freedom from psychological time when he said, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." All these voices converge toward a single truth. Life does not unfold in yesterday or tomorrow. It unfolds only now. A subtle but powerful distinction lies at the heart of understanding what is the meaning of time, the difference between duration and becoming or change. Duration refers to the continuous existence of reality itself, the ongoing presence of being, the underlying presence that does not come or go. Becoming refers to the shifting forms within that presence, the measurement of transformation within that being, growth, decay, movement, shifting mental states and emotions. Time belongs exclusively to becoming or change. It does not belong to duration. Without change, there is no time. Pure being, untouched by transformation, is timeless. Awareness does not grow older. Bodies do. Thoughts come and go, but presence remains. If reality was frozen in a single unchanging state, there would be no before or after, only presence. This insight reframes our entire relationship with existence. We normally assume that time contains life. In truth, life contains time. Time emerges only when form shifts within consciousness. In simpler terms, time changes not, but all things change in time, emphasizing that time belongs to manifestation, not to essence. Ancient teachings describe a deeper layer of reality. Beneath all form, a timeless essence from which manifestation arises. This is symbolized as the dark flame, not flame itself, but the invisible source from which light and heat emerge. It is pure being, unchanging and eternal. This essence is not spirit as commonly imagined, but closer to infinite space, silent, unmoving, complete. Because nothing changes at this level, time cannot exist there. That which is eternal is beyond time. Consciousness, at its deepest level, participates in this timeless dimension. It sees change, unmoved, stillness and silence emerge. The timeless source is not elsewhere. It is the foundation of awareness itself. When we identify only with changing forms such as body, thoughts, roles, we feel vulnerable and finite. Awakening is not acquiring something new. It is remembering what has always been here. When we recognize the timeless awareness behind them, a deeper stability emerges. This is the spiritual meaning of "before time was, I am." It points to the eternal presence that precedes all becoming. In the book, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle captures this realization when he says, "Life is now. There was never a time when your life was not now, nor will there ever be. The present moment is not a point in time. It is the field in which time appears. Past and future exist only as mental representations. They have no independent reality. Every memory arises now. Every anticipation arises now. Even our sense of personal identity is constructed from remembered experiences and projected possibilities, all occurring in the present." Einstein's observation that past, present, and future are illusory aligns perfectly with this spiritual understanding. Reality unfolds in a single, continuous moment. When we grasp this, we begin to see that our suffering often comes from mistaking becoming for being. We identify with changing conditions rather than resting in the unchanging awareness beneath them. This creates fear of loss, anxiety about the future, and attachment to the past. Recognizing the difference between duration and becoming allows us to reconnect with the timeless dimension of ourselves, the silent witness that observes change without being altered by it. Psychological time is the habit of living anywhere but here. It is the mind's tendency to dwell in the past or project itself into the future, instead of resting in present awareness. It appears as an inner narrative replaying regrets, rehearsing fears, and constructing identity from memory. Eckhart Tolle describes it plainly. Psychological time is the main cause of suffering and unhappiness. This is not practical time used for planning or organization. It is emotional attachment to what has already happened or what might happen next. The mind moves endlessly between recollection and anticipation, rarely pausing long enough to experience what is actually happening. Jesus addressed this directly when he asked, "Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to your life?" His message was not one of carelessness, but of presence. Worry exists only in imagined future. Regret exists only in reconstructed pasts. Both arise now as thought. Yet we allow these mental constructions to dominate our attention, pulling us away from the living moment. As Tolle explains, nothing ever happened in the past. It happened in the now. Nothing will ever happen in the future. It will happen in the now. Life never takes place in remembered time or anticipated time. It happens only here. Psychological time fragments consciousness and creates a constant sense of lack. We feel rushed, behind, incomplete. This inner pressure produces anxiety and dissatisfaction. And the irony is profound. We sacrifice the only moment that exists while chasing moments that do not. When awareness returns to the present, suffering begins to dissolve naturally. The story of being late to life falls away. Attention becomes whole again. Presence restores a sense of completeness. Peace is not found in better circumstances, but in deeper attention. And when psychological time collapses, it is not a loss. It is liberation. Subjective experience reveals that time is not uniform. It stretches and compresses according to mental state. Moments of anxiety feel endless, while hours of joy pass unnoticed. Einstein illustrated this relativity with a high sense of humor when he said, "When you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, you think it's only a minute. But when you sit on a hot stove for a minute, you think it's 2 hours. The clock does not change, perception does." Neuroscience supports this observation. The brain does not experience time directly, but rather constructs it from sensory input and memory. The past is not stored like a recording. It is reconstructed each time it is recalled. The future is not waiting somewhere ahead. It is simulated based on patterns. Both exist only as thoughts, arising now. This explains why time disappears in deep concentration or meditation. When mental chatter subsides, the sense of duration fades. Only presence remains. This elasticity of time shows that it is not an objective substance, but a psychological phenomenon. The more fragmented the mind, the heavier time feels. The more present the awareness, the lighter it becomes. Eckhart Tolle refers to this as entering the now, where psychological time dissolves and life flows effortlessly. In such moments, action becomes precise, intuitive, and aligned. We stop forcing outcomes and begin cooperating with reality. This shift from time-based living to presence-based living transforms how we experience existence. Life becomes less about racing against the clock and more about moving in rhythm with what is. If the past exists only as memory and the future only as imagination, then the present moment is the only place where life actually unfolds. Eckhart Tolle emphasizes this truth repeatedly. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Presence is not a spiritual achievement. It is our natural state before the mind divides reality into timelines. Presence is the doorway to timelessness. When attention rests fully in the now, psychological time collapses. There is no sense of lacking or rushing. Action arises naturally from awareness rather than from fear. This does not mean abandoning planning or responsibility. It means holding plans lightly while remaining rooted in present awareness. Every action is executed now. Every decision is made now. The present moment is not a small slice of time. It is the field in which all experience appears. In presence, we discover that we are never late and never behind. We are always exactly where life is happening. This realization brings profound peace, not by escaping reality, but by entering it fully. Time is not something that passes, like we usually think. It's more like a constant existence. All moments are existing simultaneously, and the idea of past, future, is an illusion. We know we grow from a child to an adult with different experiences, but these moments of our life are happening now. We will never travel in space as long as we are trapped in time, and we are all trapped in time, one day after the other, 1 week after the other. We have to be somewhere a certain time. This is only an illusion we have created for ourselves. But if you go deeper, you find out that all of these lives exist at the same time. Now, if the theory of relativity is correct, if the distance between two events on a beam of light is zero, if time does not exist when you go at the speed of light, then what we call time is only relative to deeper forces of nature. The deeper question is this: what would the universe look like if we traveled at the speed of light? And the answer is simple. We wouldn't perceive time at all. So, ask yourself, how do I perceive time in my life? Am I trapped by time? Or am I living in the awareness and law of being? If time is not absolute, if the distinction between the past, present, and future is but a stubborn illusion, then practicing presence and harmony is key to creating a peaceful life. Don't lose your presence fighting with the illusion of time, stressing about your job, your finances, or even the fear of death. Presence is the only place life is unfolding. When you are stressed, you live in scarcity. You start rushing. And when you start rushing, you lose presence. When you relax, life is more efficient. So let go of the fear of not having enough time and embrace the now. You can't run out of the now. You are always here, and when you are fully present, you become calm, clear, and peaceful. And calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient effort in self-control. It is a deeper understanding that everyone is a thought-evolving being. And since time is just a product of a deeper, timeless, and channels processes, we should always remain calm and present, even in great tempests of life. The only reality is now. And since the present is the only moment you actually experience, don't spend your life trying to get away from the present moment. The illusion of time is inseparable from the illusion of separation. We know we grow from being a child to an adult and have experiences in our lives where time is passing. However, all these moments exist at the same time. Time is reinforced by the belief in solid things that you think they are separate from you. We are fundamentally and ultimately not separate from any form that arises, but it looks like it, and we use the illusion of the past and future. By the idea that distance is real, that here is apart from there. Thought divides what is whole. It sequences experience and calls it time. It labels experience and calls it me. and other. In reality, identity is a process, not an object. Thoughts arise, feelings arise, sensations arise. There is no fixed me traveling from past to future, only continuous experience unfolding in awareness. Yet even science whispers the truth. At the quantum level, entangled particles remain connected across vast distances, as if separation never truly existed. Awareness is the same, timeless and indivisible. When thought grows quiet, time collapses into now. When the sense of distance dissolves, separation fades. What remains is a single, unified field of being present, infinite, and whole. Observer and observed arise together. When time is understood as a function of change, the self is revealed as fluid rather than static. This realization dissolves rigid identity and opens a sense of interconnectedness. We are not isolated beings navigating a hostile universe. We are expressions of a single unfolding reality. Presence reveals this unity directly. The boundaries between inner and outer soften. Life is experienced as a seamless flow. This is why spiritual traditions emphasize awareness over belief. Truth is not something to be accepted intellectually, since it is something to be lived moment by moment. What humans truly seek is not more time, but better alignment. When we are anxious and rushed, timing collapses. Decisions become reactive. Opportunities are missed. When we are calm and present, timing aligns. Insights arise naturally. Synchronicities appear. Life flows. This shift transforms productivity, relationships, and creativity. We stop forcing outcomes and begin cooperating with reality. Presence becomes the foundation of effective action. As Eckhart Tolle teaches, the now is not passive, it is powerful. From presence, action is clear and efficient. The problem is never lack of time. It is absence from the present. You cannot run out of now. You are always here. So here's the reality check. Time is not the enemy. The clock is not the problem. What imprisons us is our identification with past and future. Our habit of living everywhere, except where life actually happens. Now, the present moment. The past is a memory, and the future is an anticipation or projection. Therefore, focusing on the present moment is essential for experiencing reality. By embracing the now, we can avoid dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Across science, scripture, and ancient wisdom, the message is consistent. Time is a tool for measuring change, not a force that governs your existence. The past survives only as memory. The future appears only as imagination. Both arise now, and both dissolve now. This state of presence opens a gateway to experiences beyond time's constraints. When you live psychologically trapped in yesterday or tomorrow, life feels rushed, incomplete, and heavy. But when attention returns to the present, something subtle yet profound happens. Clarity replaces confusion. Action becomes precise. Fear loosens its grip. Life begins to move with you instead of against you. This doesn't mean abandoning plans or responsibilities. It means carrying them lightly without allowing them to steal the only moment you ever truly have. You are not running out of time. You are not behind. You are not late to life. You are not running out of time. You are not behind. You are not late to life. And beneath every thought, every memory, every measurement of time, there is an unchanging awareness, steady, present, untouched by years or clocks. That awareness has always been here. It is here now, and it is what you truly are. That's the reality check. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more insights like this. See you on the next one.